Hi, I'm Matt.
Hey there, I'm Bianca.
And in this video, part 2 of a series, Bianca is going to teach me and other men how to flirt.
That's right. It's going to be a really good one, so keep watching. All right, so if you watched part 1 of Matt trying to get me to figure out how to flirt, are you in for luck? Because today, he's in the hot seat.
All right. Okay. So give it to me. Try to tell me what I need.
Glasses and a notebook.
Tell me what I need to do to improve my flirting with women.
Well, first of all, tell me how you flirt with other women.
How do I flirt with other women? Okay. So as we talked about before, I am very much a touch person and a words of affirmation person. Okay. Those come very, very easy to me. And those happen to be very easy ways to connect with women I've found in the lifestyle when they have very similar love languages. So like I will pretty early on, just talking to somebody, I'll put a hand on their shoulder and see how the response is, or, just kind of tap them against, just this type of thing, just to see, to gauge things. I'm just, they might like it, they might not like it, I've never had anybody go, ugh, but I'm sure it's, I like to believe nobody's ever done that, and then kind of go from there. If we're connecting, if we're laughing, I feel that the vibe, not to sound egotistical, but I feel like the vibe is there like 95% of the time. Like if I wanted things to move forward, I could get things to move forward.
Well, we're all there for the same reason.
We're all there for the same reason, and I'm sure that there are definitely women that aren't attracted to me. That's going to be the case with everybody. But I also feel that I personally am past the point of being nervous about talking to somebody, about feeling like, oh my God, they're so much hotter than me, or they would not be interested, or something like that. I don't know until I start talking to them. So if there's a woman, I look across the room and I'm like, oh, she's gorgeous, I want to talk to her, and I might go up to talk to her, I might not. Sometimes I can be nervous about that. I think everybody can.
Do you ever feel shy or nervous in situations?
Sure. There definitely are going to be women that I will look at and I'll be, and I'm like, wow, she's gorgeous, and I can't quite think of an opening, which is dumb because openings are easy. Openings in lifestyle are just like, I love your dress. Oh my God, those earrings are amazing. Those shoes are fantastic. Do you really
comment on another woman's earrings?
It's just a starting point. I don't care. Pretty earrings are pretty earrings. I mean, I don't go, oh my God, I want your earrings. They're so cute. I want to put them on myself. I don't say that.
You recognize a woman's earrings.
If they're recognizable. That's
what you pulled out.
If they're recognizable. Because complimenting someone on, I've definitely found that women prefer to be complimented on something about they're wearing compared to themselves. So if I say, oh, you have a pretty nose, or you have beautiful lips or something like that, they appreciate that. But because it's not a non-changeable, they seem to appreciate the things that have made them, that they've chosen. So that dress, you would appreciate, oh my God, that dress looks amazing on you, or that's a gorgeous dress, or I love that color pink, over your lips are beautiful, right?
Well, especially since I have definitely gotten compliments from men telling me that I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
And it instantly, while I do like it, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I don't want them to stop. It doesn't make me uncomfortable in a way that I'm like, God, I wish people would stop saying that. But I do think that if someone complimented something else about me that wasn't, I do know that does make me feel a little bit better. But yeah, I like it more. I like it that it was something else. It's not surface. It's I had to go out and buy the outfit and put the outfit together or whatever. So
right, and it's also easy to respond to that.
Yeah, it's got pockets.
It's got pockets. That's funny. I was just thinking the same thing. We did discover no matter what, if you compliment a woman and she has pockets, that's the first thing that she says.
No, you discovered. You said we discovered.
I discovered
always
that.
Known this.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe I've seen you have conversations with people where they go, oh my God, that dress is so cute. It has pockets. Not thank you. Not anyway.
No, that's secondary.
That's secondary. It's always the first thing is it has pockets. Anyway, I find that's the case. Now, because you're not a words of affirmation person, it's a little bit more complicated for you to receive a compliment.
Correct.
And so you are going to take a compliment less than someone who appreciates words of affirmation. I do have a very good friend who is also a words of affirmation person like myself, and she loves that as long as it feels genuine.
Yes.
And
well, we all do.
Well, yes, but she'll gladly take a compliment about herself as well, as long as it feels genuine. But she would always appreciate something a bit more about what she's wearing, or some, her lip color, or whatever it might be, something that she actually chose about herself, because that's actually complimenting something about her brain more than necessarily her looks. And that, even if it's what color you're wearing or whatever, that's still something you had to think about. And I find that women like that better. Women who also appreciate touch like I do definitely will start touching back, absolutely. And then it's easy. Then I find it's very, very easy. Like if we're hitting it off, I'll move forward in the touch, where I'll get closer, where I'll start kissing the neck, where I'll do all the things, and that then is, that's, if someone is the same love language as me or similar, that's a very easy button for them. So yeah, no, it hasn't been really that difficult. I do get nervous with some women, sure. Specifically just starting a conversation. I feel like once I get the conversation going, if they're conversational, then it's not that hard. I
am just having like this, as you're talking, this interesting thing, because we have been talking about the love language quite a bit lately, and we've always put that in the back of our minds for the last several years. That I am curious as to whether you connect easier and better with people who are touch and words of affirmation, which are too high up for you, two very high up love languages, that I have to think that you quite possibly, or I'm curious, do you connect with people who are quality time, acts of service?
Yes.
Because you wouldn't typically think to do. So for me, as an acts of service person, if you were to go to the bar and grab me a drink without me asking, that to me would be like, oh my gosh, he's flirting. He likes me.
Sure.
So you doing this to me is going to be less probably than you bringing me something to drink.
Right.
And I'm curious, do you think that you connect primarily with touch people and not as much with...
Yes, because that's the easy button for me. However, I will also connect with people of very differing love languages. And if we're just flirting to kind of go into the back and play with each other, those flirting is just pretty general anyway. I don't have to bring you a drink if I started touching you and kissing on you and that type of thing, and you were attracted to me as a stranger, whatever. It would still work. So, but it's definitely not as easy as when two people have similar things. But that doesn't even matter.
I feel like you're saying the primary, and if you've watched part one, you'll see where I'm going here, is the ways to flirt with people are having a conversation and little touches.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. When you get down to it, that's it. That's right. Is that what you're... And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm trying to did you just come up with something?
You're asking how I flirt.
Okay.
What can I do to flirt with women? You're a woman. What would work for you so that I can learn this and I can incorporate this into my flirting?
Well, this is what I'm saying is I think that it's going to be different for everybody, because especially if you're bringing, I think for most people, if you're flirting the way that you said, it would totally work on me. If you're talking to me and hands and then we're moving in closer and things are progressing, there you go. That's the flirting. You were saying, no other way to do it.
So you were just saying, and I want to make sure that we got this on camera, that I am perfect at this and can't improve in any way whatsoever.
I didn't say you're perfect.
No, you can say that.
No, I didn't say you were perfect.
Well, you can say
because it's bare minimum is what you do. Bare minimum is
that sounds about right. All right.
And the talking, right? Everybody can move forward with that, or move forward, whether it's move forward to the bedroom or move forward to a different person because you don't have the connection that you want. Bare minimum is touch and talking. I think that if you were to find out their love language, then you could move into less of the bare minimum and do things like bring them something to drink.
Sure.
If you notice that they're, kind of stepping on, they're in some uncomfortable shoes and they keep shifting their weight. Hey, why don't we go sit down so you can get off your feet for a little bit?
Sure.
Or do you want me to rub your feet for a little while? Or, bringing it up to the next level of just not bare minimum basic.
Would those work for you?
100%.
Interesting. Okay. So you would be turned on by a guy who saw that you were uncomfortable in your shoes and said, hey, would you like to go sit down and get you off your feet?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because he's noticing more than just surface stuff. He's noticing more than I'm pretty, or that if he touches me, we can move forward. That to me, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. That he's noticing more about me as a human, as a person,
all right,
and wanting to make me more comfortable, wanting to make me feel more comfortable. Also, for me, not wanting to just rush into the back. Hey, let's go sit somewhere quiet so you can get off your feet for a little while.
Okay.
That would be a huge turn on.
All right, so you're saying that men should pay more attention to the signals that women are giving when they are flirting, or just when they're there, when they're just existing in the situation. Okay, all right, and I don't do that enough. Or you say
no, you don't.
Okay.
You don't. Right. I would say you don't do that. You're not a very observant person when it comes to certain things.
All right.
Whereas, and maybe I'm noticing that because I am an acts of service person,
sure.
And so I can say that you're not observant in those things because that's what I'm craving, right?
Sure, yeah.
You noticing that I'm shifting my weight and might be possibly uncomfortable, and I've been standing for a while. That is an act of service to me.
Yeah.
That you notice that Bianca's been standing for a while. We've been standing here for a while. She's got to be uncomfortable in those shoes that she wore because they make her look great and tall. And let's go sit down. And that to me is an act of service. So as an act of service person, that is a huge flirt. For you to notice that my cup is empty and you go like, let me go, can I grab you another drink? You go sit down, find a good seat. I'm going to grab you another drink so that you don't have to stand at the bar.
Okay.
That is a huge flirt for me.
Okay. So being more cognizant to what the clues are that they may be giving out to what would make them feel what?
Like you're paying attention, like you truly care about them as a person, like you're very interested in, see, with me, I want you to be more interested in not just my vagina. I want you to be interested in me as a person.
All right.
And so that to me says that you're paying attention to me as a person and not just what's going on down there.
Which is interesting because I know that this is one of those things that is lacking a lot in the lifestyle. And we did a video that's actually right up here in the corner that turned a lot of heads when we did it a couple years ago. It was the one where you started crying.
Oh gosh.
Oh, gosh.
Don't put that up there. No. Go away.
And because we were talking about this, and it's really worth a watch, and the amount of women who replied to that were just, and still do years later, and they're like, oh my God, that's exactly how I feel as a woman in the lifestyle, that so many men treat it transactionally that they forget about exactly what you're talking about, which is being aware of just making her feel like she's not just a piece of meat. Now, there are people that are just like, that want to be a piece of meat, and they're like, oh, let's go to the back, let's do this, I don't even want to know your name. But definitely we found over the years that the vast majority of lifestyle people need at least a little bit more than that.
Yes.
Where a lot of them need to know, I want to know you, I want to know your first name.
And it's all about finding the right partner for you, right? I am not going to choose to be with someone who doesn't care about my name, doesn't care about, or maybe does, they know my name, but they don't, they're just notching things off on their bedpost. And I love that for them. And sometimes I wish I could be more like that, but that is not me. So I know that I'm not going to enjoy that situation as much as I would if I had a connection with somebody. And it doesn't have to be like this deep, deep connection, but just some sort of something more.
All right. So men need to find better connections with the women that they're flirting with,
if that's what they're into. And I think you can figure that out early on.
This is where I was going with that is how do I, as a clueless guy, figure this out, find this out? What are some of the clues? I mean,
asking people their play style, asking them questions about themselves. That's all what you do in the process of getting to know someone anyways, right?
Yeah.
And
do you think asking a play style would be relevant in that? I mean, obviously your goal is to play with them, but do you think that would that give me any clue to making you feel more like a person?
If we just met and, we're getting to know each other and everything, and you ask me what my play style is, I'm gonna say, well, I'm a slow burn. I'm the type of person that needs to get to know somebody and feel really comfortable with them before I'm able to move to the next step. That gives you an out.
Well, it's not necessarily that gives you an out.
If you're like feeling like, well, I don't want to do the work, that gave you an out.
Sure, but even better than that is in the opposing side of, okay, I do want to get into Bianca's skirt, so this is what I need to do.
Right.
She gave me the clue. She basically just flat out told me what I need to do. That means I need to work on my personality with you, and I want to be witty, and I want to be fun, and I don't want to just be after 5 minutes go, let's go fuck, because that's not going to work and it's going to instantly turn you off. But talking to you and flirting you, if I really want you bad enough, this is what I need to do, because you've just flat out just told me what you wanted to do. So being cognizant of the clues, or even if they just flat out say, these are the types of things that turn me on, that do something for me. And the fact that I asked your play style and you told me that, and it gave me the answer to the question.
But
huge.
Also being an active listener and understanding what they're saying. Because I have had an experience with someone once who barely spoke to me and said, hey, let's go on the back. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm the type of person that needs to get to know somebody a little bit. And so 10 minutes later, he was like, all right, so you ready to go the back? So he was not hearing what I said to him.
Sure.
So actually paying attention to what they mean and really keeping that conversation going in the right direction is going to do way more good. And that's not to say that maybe I would have felt comfortable with somebody else after 10 minutes. I'm the type, like, it just depends. If I had felt a connection with that person after 10 minutes and he was kind of standoffish, he wasn't flirting, like it was, to me, the whole conversation was transactional. How long do I have to talk to her before she'll go into the back? And so it was, I finally had to make it clear that this is just not going to happen.
So, that's interesting. So you actually felt like he was just notching off what you requested.
Yeah.
All right. So I have to talk to her for 10 minutes and then she'll want to have sex with me.
No,
and
you have to be interested and you have to actually listen.
Sure. That's very interesting. Okay. All right. So you're saying that would you say all women give clues?
What do you mean all women give clues?
Well, you told me how to get in your pants.
That's not a clue, though, necessarily. That is me.
Well, I flat out asked you.
I gave you a key.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the right one, but I gave you a key. And so, which lock is it going to unlock, right? So I'm giving you a tool to figure it out. Whether you use that tool or not, it's up to you.
I guess that was where my question is. Would you say all women give that tool out, even to people that they're not necessarily attracted to, just in the sense
every woman is different. Sorry, guys. Every woman is different. I have friends who have barely a conversation with you and they're inviting you back to the back for whatever. I have friends that take way longer than I do to feel comfortable and confident with someone. Everybody's different. That's the fun of this, right? Is you got to figure it out. If you're that interested in someone, you got to do the work for them, and the work could be 0 to 100.
All right. Okay. So that's basically saying that transactional works with the right person. But even in those situations, you still have to be able to turn them on, and turning them on, even if it only takes 2 minutes, is paying attention to the clues that they're giving you.
Yes.
And sometimes the clues are obvious. This is what I like. Other times it's, you can see her feet are uncomfortable. And just being aware of the messages, the clues that she's giving of something that she needs is going to make her more attracted to you and potentially get you into the back room.
Yeah.
All right. Wow, I learned a lot today. Look.
I wonder how many foot massages I'm going to get.
Yeah, that's right. When you see Bianca, offer to give her a foot massage. Oh, you're going to be happy. This is about me. Oh, wait, no, this is about me learning. No,
how many foot massages are you going to give me?
Oh, wow. I'm kind of tired. So do you agree with her assessment of what I and what other men should be doing in the lifestyle, or is she way off? Usually I'm the one that people say is way off in the comments, but this time I want you to say in the comments, oh no, Bianca, she's crazy. So,
Bianca knows nothing.
Bianca, we never get those comments. They're mostly Bianca is always right, and sometimes, man, she's got nice boobs. One or the other, or both. All right. Was there anything else you want to say?
I don't know. I think I'm good.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you later. Are you unzipped?